Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call the meeting of the Maricopa County Community College Board to order. I wonder if Miss Evia Morrow is here from Rio. Miss Morrow, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Ms. Morrow. We have substitutes today. Mr. Todd Simmons is here for Chris Bustamante at Rio Community College. Veronica Garcia for Paul Dale at Paradise Valley. Sasan, I'm going to do great damage to this, Sasan. Now you know how it feels to be a Gutierrez. Sasan Puret, Azi for Champagne at MCC. Sue Tavacoli for Ernie Lara at EMC. Thank you all. And we'll go directly to student leadership reports from Rio Salado.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good evening. President Gutierrez, members of the board, Dr. Harper Marinick, members of the CEC, and guests, good evening. My name is John Bastian. I am the coordinator of student life and leadership at Rio Salado College. And tonight we have two Rio Salado students, Evea Morrow, who you just met, and Oliva Mendez. They're going to be speaking with you about some of the activities that have gone on over the past several months at Rio Salado. And also hopefully share with you a little bit about what they've learned through this all. So please welcome our students. First up will be Evea.
Ms. Morrow, welcome.
Thank you. Let's see. President Gutierrez, members of the board, Dr. Harper Marinick, members of the CEC, and guests. My name is Evea Morrow. I'm the student president of the National Society of Leadership and Success and co-presidents with Oliva for the Phi Theta Kappa chapter. I'm here to speak a lot about what student life has really brought into the college and what it's meant to me. When I first started at Rio, I was kind of intimidated by the idea of an online college because, well, I knew I could probably get some tutoring. I could email the instructors, but how on earth do you form a study group through a chat? I had no idea how to do these things. And I went ahead and enrolled, and I did the classes, and I was getting good grades, but I kind of got lonely. So when John Bastian first told me about, did you know we have a social club? I was kind of thrilled, but also nervous because I was always the person that was like, people would be like, oh, hey, do you want to go see that movie? I got it at home. I'll see you, bye. I didn't want to do those things. I was nervous and shy, and I didn't really have a lot of confidence in myself. I'm the first person in my family to really go to college, so always in the back of your head's kind of a, I can't do this type of thing. I joined the National Society of Leadership and Success as a way to try and get out of that, and it really changed my life. Members of the NSLS have to do quite a few steps. So let me see. For the purpose of it being trying to improve campus life, trying to have students connect to the school and feel some pride in their school, reach out, meet other members, and know what to do when they have a problem. I've met a lot of students that come who are also members, and they'll tell me, I'm having a problem in a class. And it's, oh, did you know we have actually things that can help you with that? We have instructional facilitators, we have tutoring, we've got a lot of counseling services available. And it was amazing to see these people who were going, oh, I had no idea. I said, well, that's what it's all about. And it's about taking your education one step further. It's not, okay, I got up, I went to work, I came home, I did my classes, I went to bed, I got up, I repeated. It's, I connected and I got into something and I changed my life in ways I never imagined I could. And that's the results we're seeing from our students. The National Society of Leadership and Success and Phi Theta Kappa, I'll mainly focus on the National Society of Leadership and Success. It's the one I've been involved in longest, and then we'll turn it over to Aliva, and she's going to speak more about PTK. So for the National Society of Leadership and Success, students actually have to complete at least 13 to 12 hours of work, and that's the very bare minimum. They come to an orientation which talks about what we're going to be doing, what our purpose is, which is you're not just here to add something to your resume or your diploma. You're trying to change the world. The National Society of Leadership and Success builds leaders who build a better world. We want people to look at their teammates, their classmates, and not try to outdo anyone. We don't want to become that school where people compete or they shut out or they'll tell people something that isn't true or they're just striving just for themselves. We want to create leaders who say, hey, I'm climbing this ladder, come with me. You want to say, okay, you're taking this class and you're having a hard time. Not, ha ha, sucks to be you, but let me help you. I've heard that from some people. But we want to hear, come on board, I'll help you. We want them to start taking an interest in their community and the people around them. We don't want them to wake up in the morning and go, I need to do this, 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 this for me, and then I get to go to bed. We want them to think, I got to do this for me and this for other people. And how can I accomplish a goal if my goal is only so small that I could probably do it myself? You want to make a goal that you have to have other people involved in. Because if we don't learn how to branch out and grasp other people and say, help me do this, well, then we're only going to be as big as ourselves. They do a 3-hour leadership training day where we kind of bridge that, where it's, okay, some of you are nervous, some of you don't like speaking to other people. There's a member who's autistic. There's a member who just got parole, and he's so nervous, he doesn't know what to do. And we had another member who's so busy and frantic. She's like, oh, I forgot to eat today, didn't I? And we brought those people in and said, okay, did you know you can turn to that other person and they'll help you? We had the member who was autistic suddenly realizing that he's not very different and he can reach out and talk to people. And he's one of our most prized members for the Wednesday night SNT group. We love him. He loves coming, even though he didn't get inducted this semester because it was a bit much. He's still with it and he still feels appreciated. And I love the fact that he says, I've made friends. And we do all the S&Ts via Skype for his group because he doesn't like in-person, face-to-face communication. So he spends most of the time with us looking at his ceiling while he talks. But he still considers us his friends. And that to me was really important. And that he's completing a goal that he thought was never possible, which is to graduate from college with autism, having made friends, and having a healthy lifestyle. For him, a healthy lifestyle is not, I'm going to run a marathon. It's, I want to get up in the morning and not panic. I want to get through the day and not panic. If somebody says, hi, Sam, I don't want to go, I have to go, and I'll see you next year. He wants to be able to say, okay, cool, hi, how you doing? And he's gotten there. And that's because of the team. So I think not only do we benefit the students by helping them expand resume skills, but by helping them be a team. We've actually got 3 students now who are working here at Rio Salado who at the beginning of the semester had said they probably would never get jobs. The one person has a problem. He says he's really bad at taking orders and communicating with people, and he was always thinking of landscaping as his fallback career. He got fired from that a few times, and he was at me going, I give up, what can I do? I said, okay, come, join, do the meetings. He's gotten all the way through to get the NELA Award, which is the National Engaged Leadership Award, which is only for people who can really communicate with other people. They have to be really good at communication skills and listening to other people. And now he's a peer mentor at our school. So he's come such a long way. And I don't think that would be possible without this chapter. This year, we've actually had the best success ever. We've had the highest inductee rate of 62%. When I joined, it was laughable to think 50%. We were just kind of like, yeah, eventually we'll do that. We did it this year. We're going to try and get all the pillars. And we actually have the most member participation and the most members saying, I want to get involved and I want to help you. So for this semester, we had 3 members who were officers. And already I've got 5 people, 6 people who want to do it. So I'm really excited for the fall semester. I want to touch very briefly on Phi Theta Kappa before introducing Oliva. Phi Theta Kappa is important because it teaches people how to take research, take their scholarship, take their desire to learn, and put it into real world practice. It's not just write an essay paper, turn it in, and move on with your life. It's write an essay paper, discover what it means, learn what that does, and figure out how what you've learned can help your community. And then once you've done that, put it into action. Thank you. Oliva?
Thank you. Ms. Mendez.
Good afternoon, President Gutierrez, members of the board, Dr. Harper Manrick, members of the CAC, and guests. My name is Oliva Mendez, and I am currently a student at Rio Salado College. Today I will be speaking about Phi Theta Kappa. The reason I joined Phi Theta Kappa is because I wanted to change the world, but I didn't know how to do it. Like Avea mentioned, Phi Theta Kappa does not only teach us how to do research, but put it out into actions in the world, and not just in the world, but in starting with ourselves, the community, and expanding to international level. There are many benefits of Phi Theta Kappa, not only doing the research and putting it into actions, but actually receiving scholarships to continue our higher education and engage with the community. In order to become a Phi Theta Kappa members, there are a few requirements. In order to join, you have to have a 3.5 GPA or higher. You also have to be currently enrolled at a Rio Salado Community College or any of the other community colleges. This year, we are a 5-star chapter for the 3rd consecutive year, which means that we have met all the requirements set by the International Office. One of the requirements is the college project. Last year, we did a student video that highlighted why to return to college and why to choose Rio. We had many students give their opinion on why they chose Rio. Many students said because of the work life, they can't work with their schedule. Most employers, they want somebody who's open availability, and most students don't have that. As a Rio college student, you have the ability to do your homework when you can. You can do it before work, after work. You have the ability to reach out to your teachers 24 hours a day. They might not reply to you at 1 a.m, but they will get back to you as soon as they can. On the college projects, we work with the college administration to strengthen our bond between Pi Theta Kappa and the college. There's also additional leadership opportunities, not only NSLS and Pi Theta Kappa. This year, we had 2 students awarded the Chancellor's Civic Leadership Medallion. We also had 3 students attend the Student Leadership Retreat. And we have opportunities to be a member of the Be a Leader Foundation Mentorship Program. And this year, fortunately, I was the student chosen to be the participant at the Arizona Town Hall. It was the 108th Arizona Town Hall. We discussed the relationship between Mexico and Arizona and how to strengthen those bonds. I know we discussed about how the SB 1070 in Arizona kind of destroyed some of our relationships we had, but then it was really interesting to see so many individuals trying to work to get those relationships strengthening back. Between Arizona and Mexico. There were many people from Mexico. There was people from all over Arizona working together to accomplish this goal of writing the report that we're going to send out to our policymakers. There are future opportunities for more student groups at Rio Salado. Even though it's an online college, we still want to make sure that students feel that they can obtain that traditional college experience. We also have more community service projects coming up with Phi Theta Kappa, NSLS, and this will be open to the students. And also greater engagement between the community and Rio Salado. And that is the end of our presentation. We open the floor for questions.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Sir.
So Rio Salado is this online technology savvy organization, and what I see up here is not really one in front of a computer. I mean, you get together as more than just with your instructor through emails and so forth. So it's unique in terms of an online college to have all these services available to your students as students. Do you see, it's the online college with lots of locations around the valley. Do you use those locations to meet with other students and so forth?
Yes, currently we don't, especially from Phi Theta Kappa, we don't have students from other locations join, but we are trying to outreach to a location in Avondale and other locations near where students are at. Most of the time they come down to Tempe location,
Okay.
but we're trying to work with them to meet at other locations as well.
I just think it's unique that an online college would have the same activities going on in terms of student leadership, in terms of developing services student to student within that online world. So I really commend all those involved in how that works so well. I think that would make an excellent segment on KJAS, but I would never say that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any further discussion? If not, Ms. Mendez, Ms. Morrow, thank you very, very much for that presentation. The Faculty Executive Council report, Mr. Sosa.
President Gutierrez, members of the board, Chancellor Harper-Marinick, members of CEC, and guests, I appreciate this opportunity to address you all briefly this evening. First of all, on behalf of the faculty, I would like to again congratulate our new Chancellor, Dr. Harper-Marinick. And I would like to take one last time to publicly thank the previous Faculty Association President, Selena Bednarik. She has been a tremendous advocate for faculty this last year, and personally a tremendous mentor to me. So I feel very fortunate to have the opportunity to work so closely with two incredible leaders this coming year, and hopefully I will be the better for it. And there. Additionally, I would like to acknowledge the Faculty Association officers that will be working on behalf of faculty this year. Selena Bednarik from Phoenix will be the past president. Mike Mitchell from Paradise Valley Community College will be the president-elect. Lucas Messer will be our membership. I get membership, some of our officers confused. Lucas Messer from Scottsdale will be our membership officer. Doug Deese will be continuing as our communication officer. His campus is Glendale. Let me check my list, make sure I get everybody. Patty Finkenstadt from Phoenix College will be the personnel officer. And I'm obviously Robert Sosa, who will be the president this year, and I'm from Mesa. We're working on filling the finance officer, so when that happens, we'll let you all know. Finally, as Faculty Association officers and representatives of the faculty, I just want to take this time to extend our hand in partnership. As you all know, as a district, we're in a time of tremendous change and transition, and as faculty, we are very excited to work with all of you in those areas where we're doing well to make sure we keep going and make those areas of strengths better. And I think we're equally eager in those areas where there's room for improvement to roll our sleeves up, get our hands dirty, and do everything we can to make sure that Maricopa is the kind of institution that we all want to work at. It really is our belief that as we partner with the members of the board, as we partner with all of you on CEC, as we partner with our colleagues in, I guess, which will soon be the one Maricopa workforce. We won't have Matt or PS, so we'll have to figure out how to create a new abbreviation for them. But when we partner as employees, as elected officials, as presidents of the college, that's where we are the strongest. And as faculty, we're here to help and support that work. So again, I appreciate this opportunity to speak with you all briefly, and I look forward to the coming year. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sosa. Questions or comments? If not, the Adjunct Faculty Association report, Mr. Leo Valverde. We'll go on to the Emeritus Awards and Recognition. Dr. Geller.
Thank you, President Gutierrez, members of the board, Chancellor Harper-Marinick, CEC colleagues and friends. I'd like to, with your permission, call Dr. Daniel Kaur SCC's Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs to the podium.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Kaur, I can tell tales, and many people know, but he will, on July 1st, become the president of Arizona Western College. And so this may be his last governing board meeting.
We can hope.
And so that roast was 2 weeks ago. So, yes, okay. So, and Dr. Kaur has had and continues to have a very strong relationship with our faculty, those who are here with us now and those in the past. And tonight we're honoring one of the members of our faculty who has since left us. And so I think it was fitting that he make this presentation with your permission.
Dr. Kaur.
Thank you, Dr. Gaylor. If I could ask Dr. Doug Sawyer to join me at the podium. President Gutierrez, members of the board, Chancellor Murray Harper Marinick, boy, that sounds good, CEC, and guests. It really is an honor to speak on behalf of a colleague, Dr. Doug Sawyer. Doug discovered his love of teaching in 1983 as a graduate teaching assistant at Iowa State University. He continued to teach throughout his graduate school days, securing a lectureship at Iowa State. He then accepted a position at ASU in 1988 as a visiting professor. His visit lasted until 1992, when he found SCC. And boy, we are better because of it. Dr. Sawyer then served SCC and the entire Maricopa District in many capacities over the next 21 years. He was the Physical Science Department Chair, later serving as the Math Science Division Chair. He also served as the District Ocotillo Chair, the Chemistry Instructional Council Chair, a member of the MCCD Professional Growth Committee, the MCC Strategic Planning Committee. I could go on and on. It's a mere sampling of his contributions to the district. At the national level, Doug also served as the Vice Chair for the American Chemical Society Education Committee and has been a recipient or co-recipient of numerous grants, most recently co-PI for an $8.6 million NSF grant focused on middle school mathematics. In 1999 into 2000, Dr. Sawyer was invited to study the Martian meteorite samples with both NASA and ASU. The results of this sabbatical work are recognized as the first direct chemical evidence of the existence of an ancient ocean on Mars. In addition to his enormous contributions to the field of chemistry, Dr. Sawyer has been quite active on SEC's campus. He was among the first in the district to incorporate open educational resources into his classroom, saving his students hundreds of thousands of dollars. He was also instrumental in establishing one of SEC's signature events, Math Science Day, that bring literally hundreds of high school students on campus to compete in various competitions. He was also instrumental in the design, implementation, and opening of our new math or science building. Finally, Doug was always willing to showcase his musical talents as a member of the Three Radicals. Joined by two of his faculty colleagues, the Three Radicals regularly performed their high-energy rock and blues at numerous SEC events. That concludes the official recognition of Dr. Sawyer. My personal contribution would be to say this is as solid of a man as I've ever met. He is a remarkable educator and an even better friend and man. So I'd ask Dr. Doug Sawyer to say a few comments.
Thank you very much, President Gutierrez, members of the board, Chancellor Harper Marinick, members of CEC. I'm very honored and very fortunate to be affiliated with Maricopa Community Colleges and Scottsdale Community College. I was so fortunate to land there. In 1992, as Dr. Kaur said, I was a professor at ASU who really wanted to focus on teaching. And I was told that that was much appreciated, but it wouldn't be a track toward tenure if I wanted to focus on teaching. So I searched all over the country, and I ended up right up the street at Scottsdale. And I couldn't have landed at a better place, where all the faculty were focused on excellence in the classroom. All of the staff, all of the managers, and the administration shared that focus of excellence for the students and support of all of their endeavors. So again, I'm very humbled, very honored. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sawyer. Thank you. Congratulations. I'm showing no one for citizens interim.
You're not moving to Yuma, is that correct,
There's no one.
Doctor?
If he'll come, I'll take
I figured that.
The next item on the agenda is citizens interim, but I am showing no request to speak. Is that correct? We do not have a request to speak. Is that correct?
I filled one out.
You filled one out. Well then, ma'am, would you please take the podium? Citizen interim is an opportunity for members of the public to address the governing board. In compliance with the open meeting law, the governing board will neither discuss nor take action on issues raised during this portion of the agenda. When necessary, issues will be taken under advisement and placed on a subsequent agenda. Proceed, ma'am. What is your name?
My name is Lynn Mary.
M.
A-R-Y is
Okay.
my last name. President Gutierrez, members of the board, Chancellor Harper Marinick, members of CEC, and guests. My name is Lynn K. Mary. I am a 28-year employee with Maricopa Community Colleges at Phoenix College. You've received information, excuse me, in many different forms through personal contact, emails, and also citizens interim communications. I want to make sure you truly understand the fear and apathy employees from all employee groups, including faculty, are experiencing. Student success is one of the governing board metrics. Why is it employees are being written up by their supervisors for assisting students? Our students, who may have been waiting for an hour or more because it's time to close the office or for taking their lunches late. Case in point, it's 4:30. The manager isn't on campus, and the employee was the only advisor in the building. And yet when the employee communicates to the manager about helping the student, they are told, next time, have the student come back. We can't pay overtime for you to help a student. How is that enhancing student success? One Maricopa workforce. The funding for the Classified Staff Council takes professional growth funds away from all employees who want to further their education, attend a conference or a workshop, which would help them do their job in a more efficient manner. Are we not an educational institution, not only educating our students, but also helping educate our employees? Classified Staff Council. I know several employees who are retired and have resigned from Maricopa. They received emails regarding voting for the Classified Staff Council candidates. If the voting was anonymous, why do the candidates know how many votes they received and quite possibly who voted for which candidate? 2 employees applied to run for the open positions, yet once the one Maricopa workforce identified the individuals, the criteria was restructured, disqualifying the prospective candidates. This left the campus without a voice or any representation. One Maricopa workforce has changed the criteria and process along the way to fit what they would consider their ideal person, rather than putting vested employees on the ballot who have the best interests of the campus and organization at heart. This was not a transparent process, but rather a form of dictatorship. Classified Staff Council policy, constitution, and bylaws. In my mind, a true conflict of interest is present when CSC members who assisted in writing processes, policy, bylaws, and the Constitution prior to elections were on the ballot and elected to the Staff Council. The right thing for the Vice Chancellor of Human Resources and CSC to do would have been to be transparent by not allowing any contributor to the documents to be on the CSC ballot. As stated in the May 16th edition of the Maricopan, representatives also decided they will ratify CSC's Constitution and bylaws at a meeting on May 19th, indicating the documents were already in draft form, and once again, proving CSC isn't interested in giving employees the opportunity for input or comment. Is CSC afraid of the comments they might receive from employees? Direct appointments. It's my understanding Maricopa HR is processing direct appointments with the favored new employees beginning their assignments while their paperwork is pushed through the process. Also, promotions and increases are being approved for select employees who may receive multiple increases in promotions.
Ms. Perry, you have 1 minute to wrap
I have
up.
just a couple things. Maricopa Community College's employees are human resources for the Maricopa District, our students, and the community. I'm saddened employee issues, concerns, morale, overall mental health and well-being are disregarded and unsupported. We have transitioned from employee-driven representation to employer-driven representation. Employees won't speak up for fear of retaliation. Hopefully you have been listening tonight to the examples I have communicated to you, which lead to employee fear and apathy. How much more are you going to allow district administration to take away from employees? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mary. I have no other requests. We'll proceed then to Chancellor's report. Chancellor?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Gutierrez, members of the board, and CEC and guests. I have guests for a brief presentation, but before I introduce them, I wanted to let everyone know that it has been a wonderful couple of weeks because we've had so many convocations and commencement, and I understand that for just about every event, we have had record participation on behalf of the students and record attendance. So thank you to all who had anything to do with the planning and making sure that the students felt supported enough to come to the events. And I would now introduce the two guests that are here tonight to make a presentation. We have Professor Jim Simpson from Scottsdale Community College and Linda Jackson, who works for the IRS. And they're here for a good thing. They're here to, no one is in trouble with the taxes. But you may or may not know that some of our colleges have served as VITA sites and helping low-income individuals file their taxes. And VITA is Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, and we do that in partnership with the IRS and United Way. So I would like for Jim Simpson and Linda Jackson to explain a little bit about the program and then some of the results that we have seen in how we have supported our community through VITA.
Thank you, Dr. Harper-Marinick. President Gutierrez, members of the board, Dr. Harper-Marinick, members of the CEC and guests. My name is Jim Simpson. I'm a professor at Scottsdale Community College, and I'm here to talk on behalf of the IRS-sponsored VITA program that Dr. Harper-Marinick just referred to. 5 of the 10 Maricopa Community Colleges sponsored sites with student and community volunteers who provided free tax preparation for taxpayers with less than $54,000 of income or the elderly or disabled. We prepared over 3,000 returns, generating nearly $4 million in refunds. A major portion of these refunds came from federal tax credits, such as the Earned Income Credit and Education Credits, which represents an influx of federal money into our communities for the people who need it most. Many of these clients said they would use the money to pay bills. Many others said they would use the money to pay tuition, which is a direct financial benefit to the colleges, much like a Pell Grant. In turn, the only cost to the colleges was a little paper and ink. This program touches every aspect of our mission. Students get to put into practice what they learned in a classroom while providing a valuable service for the community. They get real-world work experience to enhance their job prospects.
We train members of the surrounding communities to become certified to participate in the program, lifelong learning. And we develop valuable partnerships with outside agencies such as United Way, A New Leaf, Mesa United Way, City of Phoenix, AARP, and the IRS. Here to discuss the value of these partnerships is Linda Jackson from the IRS.
Good evening, everyone. President Gutierrez, board members, CEC guests, and Dr. Marinick. The VITA program has actually been in your college for over 20 years. It was started at South Mountain Community College, and then again at Paradise Valley Community College, and then spread with championships. People that Jim would like to introduce it to the programs. We have ACA 121 classes at some of the colleges, EMCC, Gateway, South Mountain Community College, that students come and they are trained to become certified preparers, which is a great opportunity for all these individuals. It's a great communication skill, and it's an actual trade if you really try to think about it. So with the help of Jim Simpson, we are able to get these individuals and volunteers into the colleges to help provide free tax preparation services for the community. And since that you have been a long life partner and as a representative from the IRS, I would like to present Dr. Marinick with a plaque for their community services in appreciation for all the colleges and all the students that have been part of this VITA program for over 20 years. I hope that with your help that we can expand this program to the other colleges. So after class today, Jim and I will be here to help to answer any questions on how your college can get involved. And I'd also, because I work for the IRS, nobody ever thanks me. I don't know why. But as a parent of a college student at Paradise Valley Community College, I would like to say that he had a very wonderful experience there at the college. He was on the golf team, and it was just an absolutely wonderful experience. So thank you to Paradise Valley Community College and all the board members for your support to all the colleges.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jackson.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Burke.
This is a wonderful program. Students are not only getting an education, but it fits into our one of our ends, which is civic engagement. And it's a great service that is being done for the community. I'm really proud of this program.
Jim, thank you. So I didn't realize that in addition to everything else you do, you were involved in this to the degree you are.
This program is the best thing I've ever done in the community colleges. If you'd see the students, the excitement that the students have, the lifelong lessons that they have, the civic engagement that they get. We'll be there at 10 o'clock at night discussing various returns and the things and how it would apply to real life. It's a wonderful program. If any of the other colleges, I offer my assistance in helping set up. And it's not just my assistance. We have a wonderful program with IRS and other whole support network to get these sites going. It is a little bit of work, but it's well worth it.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson. We now move to the approval of the order of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second?
Aye. Or second. Sorry.
Any discussion? If not, we'll move directly to the consent agenda. All in favor, but I have no objection. You can do that without objection.
I just wanted to say aye.
Oh, okay. We'll call a roll call vote.
No.
Moving to the consent agenda, does anyone want to remove any of the items on the consent agenda?
I move approval.
Second?
You've heard the motion. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. the consideration of non-consent action items. Item 15, Chancellor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item 15.1 is a settlement of litigation with Arvizu, and it is to settle litigation brought by former nursing students at Chandler Gilbert Community College. The governing board has been apprised of the history of the matter through privileged communication from our interim general counsel. And I don't know if Ms. McConnell wants to make any comments about this.
Members of the board, Mr. Gutierrez, Chancellor, and I have nothing to add from my May 2nd note to the board.
I move approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 16, business services. Vice Chancellor.
Mr. President, members of the board, this is an action item that is being requested for the board to authorize and approve a resolution that authorizes the sale of general obligation refunding bonds. This is a refinancing of some existing bonds that we issued in order to allow us to achieve savings in interest on the bonds. Currently, we are thinking it might make economic sense to issue or refund or refinance $159.68 million in bonds, and we would save over the maturity of the bonds about $13.8 million, and that results in reduced property taxes to property owners, so it would save our community quite a bit of money over the life of the bonds, and we do recommend its approval. I do have bond counsel here and our financial advisor here. They presented and were here at 2 previous meetings to share information, and they're here to help answer any questions you may have at this meeting.
Is there a motion?
Move approval.
Is there a second?
A second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this item? This item has been before us on 2 separate occasions. If there is no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 16.2, approval of cyber risk insurance. Vice Chancellor.
Mr. President, members of the board, last year, for the first time, we were able to acquire cyber risk insurance with a total limit of $10 million. We were able this year to achieve an increase of $15 million in coverage for a total of $25 million, and this action item is for 16 months of coverage at a total of a little over $681,000. And the 16 months is unusual, but we're doing it to get us in the same cycle for the renewal of all of our other lines of insurance, and we recommend its approval.
I move approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 16.3, student insurance program renewal. Vice Chancellor.
Mr. President, members of the board, this is the annual renewal for student insurance. There are 3 carriers that we're recommending award to. One is Star Indemnity for accident insurance, and that our process for competing has resulted in this being the recommended new carrier and saving almost $100,000. We recommend continuing to go with Mutual of Omaha. They're the only carrier that will write for us for catastrophic insurance, and then also staying with Nationwide for international insurance. This is optional insurance for international students, and they pay for this. The district pays for accident and catastrophic, and we recommend this approval.
You've heard the explanation. Is there a motion?
I move approval.
Second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 16.4, the contract for the Annual Summer Pavement Maintenance Program. Vice Chancellor.
Mr. President, members of the board, this is a recommended contract award to Ace Asphalt of Arizona for a little bit less than $576,000, and it will provide upgrades to 35 parking lots and driveways at various district locations.
You've heard the explanation. Is there a motion?
I move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 16.5, approve job order contracting for financial aid Wood Street building. Vice Chancellor.
Mr. President, members of the board, this is a recommended award to SD Crane Builders for the renovation of some space in the district office's Wood Street building. It is being, or to be used to locate our financial aid support offices. They are individuals who work on federal financial aid verification, student loan servicing, fraud and identity theft, and it will provide them with suitable space to do their work.
You've heard the explanation. Is there a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Information item, Human Resources,
16.6.
16.6. 16.6, the elusive 16.6. Vice Chancellor.
Mr. President, members of the board, this is a recommended award to Progressive Roofing to replace the existing roof at the district office, this very building that we're in. This will replace the original roof, which is approximately 30 years old, is very deteriorated. We experience a lot of leaks when it rains, and it needs to be replaced. It's at the end of its life, and we recommend approval of the item.
You've heard the explanation. Is there a motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Information items, Human Resources, Vice Chancellor.
Thank you, President Gutierrez, members of the board. Now the moment you've all been waiting for, the employment numbers for the month of April. We had a total number of 24 new hires and 17 separations.
Any discussion? If not, we'll move on to the monitoring reports. Item number 18. Vice Chancellor Thompson.
Mr. President, members of the board, this is the budget analysis report for the general fund, our main operating budget, for the first 10 months of the fiscal year through April 30th. And as I have reported in many months, these expenditures are on par in terms of percentages with other months. The same is true with revenues, and we expect to meet our financial stability requirement at the end of the year.
Any discussion? If not, we will move on to item number 19, Governing Board Reports. Mr. Burke.
This has been a busy month. I was able to attend the Vortex Award ceremony at Scottsdale Community College. These are for creative writing students and artists, and students received awards in poetry, short story, drama, screenplays, and art. Wonderful evening. They do this every year, separate from our district program. It's well supported by local writers in the Scottsdale area. Attended the Veterans Convocation at Mesa, the African American Students Convocation at South Mountain, the Asian Pacific Island Convocation at Rio, the Rio Salado graduation, the SAC Nursing Pinning Ceremony, and the Chandler Gilbert Commencement Ceremony on Friday night. Friday night, right? And then the district awards event yesterday, where new employees were recognized, people with years of service, and also some innovation awards and the like. In addition, I attended the AADGB meeting, which I will report on shortly.
Mr. Sarr.
I've attended many of the same ones that we all did, and it's a time of the year when we get a chance to see the efforts paying off for all of those involved in our district. Obviously, student success is our number one effort, and this last week has been a plethora of student success stories. So thank you to all involved.
Ms. Haber?
Yes, I attended some of the graduation ceremonies as well. In fact, at Paradise Valley Community College, all of us on the platform did a little dance. And I thought that really added to the celebration. It was quite amazing, to live music, by the way. Also, something I want to mention to you, I attended the second day of the Pathways Conference, and our governor spoke about how we were improving connections and education with different businesses and what have you. And if you can imagine this, he mentioned our universities and did not once mention our community colleges. I was appalled. And I turned to a lady next to me who was a teacher, is a teacher, I should say, at a California community college. I said, isn't that something that he didn't mention community colleges? And she said, oh, don't worry, because yesterday there was this outstanding speaker who told all about everything the community colleges were doing. Really? And what was that person's name? Well, as a chisel, it was Maria somebody. She's, anyway, so I think our chancellor is on top of things.
Mrs. Livingston?
Well, I don't always get the same chance as everyone else does, but I get to see it on the other side. And just today, I helped a young student get ready to go to Estrella Mountain, and another one fill out his application, his track type of thing, because he has an appointment tomorrow down at GCC, and his aspiration is Division I. So I get to see the other end. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. You need more cheerleaders inside the schools. I can only get around to so many at once, but doing our best. But good stuff.
Mr. Heap?
After everyone's presentation, I'm sitting here looking at a 2-page document.
Is your light on?
Hello? Okay. Okay. So
How are you?
thank you. I'm sitting here looking at a 2-page document, and all I can say is I want to say thank you to the chancellor, to the presidents, and to all their staff of thousands that put on so many of these great programs, these graduations, these success motivation programs, just absolutely fantastic. The energy is overwhelming. So thank you. And I just, thank you.
Ms. McGrath?
Thank you, Mr. President. I, too, was able to participate in a very wonderful graduation ceremony, and I think that the one I attended was probably the most fun. It was held outside at the Goodyear Baseball Stadium, and at the end of the ceremony, they shot off fireworks, which was a very pleasant surprise. They passed out rattles to us before we marched out onto the field, and they were wonderful. They had a paw print of the mountain lion on them, and purple and gold, which are the school's colors. And as favorite students were receiving their diploma, if they had excelled in a particular something or another, I couldn't figure out what, but members of the faculty was seated in one place, and members of that faculty who loved that student would stand up and cheer and shake their rattles, and it was really fun. I'd never seen anything like that at a graduation ceremony. And at the end, as we were marching off the stage, I also shook my rattle several different times. And one of the students said, "Oh, I love your rattle." And I said, "Do you have one?" She said, "No." So I wish I kept it, but I gave it to her. And then the nicest thing, we marched out and we formed a line on the first baseline. And all of the students walked between us, and we clapped our hands raw for them as they marched out. And that was the happiest group of graduates I've ever seen, and it was a pleasure to participate in it.
So you shaked your rattle. And you were good at it. I'm not going there. It's my turn. I was at South. It was at South Mountain Community College's graduation. It was fabulous. It was excellent, and students were just elated. But I've got to say, both at South and in Glendale, Glendale was led by President Kovala, who obviously is a secret general in the military. This is a military precision. So, stand up, shop, move. I was in the Army a long time, and I was terrified. But, it's like 600 students and thousands of family members, and it all worked like clockwork. Likewise at South, so I've got to congratulate everyone involved there. I was at the Hispanic convocation. There were record numbers, and I hope that next year that number will pale. Next year we will have even more. The Veterans Convocation was terrific, but frankly, it was a bit of a disappointment. We are not. I know we're reaching out to veterans, and I know we're having great success with veterans in terms of our colleges, but they're not going to the convocation, and we've got to bring them together to celebrate that moment. So we're going to try harder this coming year. But it was, to the degree it worked, it was absolutely terrific. Let me close with this. The Phoenix College softball team is going to the regionals. The nationals. They've won the regionals. They're going to the nationals. They're going to some podunk town in Mississippi to play for the nationals, a place you never heard of, so I'm not even going to mention it. But the chances are they will be the national champions. Unlike in the past, where we celebrate the national champions without really thinking about what we're going to do, I want to challenge all of you, President Haynes, Chancellor, to begin thinking about what are we going to do to really celebrate the fact that these students are doing extraordinary. I know many of these kids, they've got 3 5s and 4 O's as well as going to the nationals. I mean, it's amazing what they do. So congratulations to everyone. And now I'll go on to the next item. But Gloria didn't tell me what that was. It's her fault. External community reports. There's an Association of Governing Boards. Mr. Berg.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, the Arizona Association of District Governing Board members met in May. We elected new officers. Jane Strain from Cochise is the new president of the board. Maria Chavoya of Arizona Western is the vice chair, and Julie Bear of Mojave is the new secretary treasurer. We also made final preparation for the Governance Institute on Student Success, which will be held locally on the evening of September 8, the day of September 9, and half day on Saturday, September 10.
School Board Association, Mr. Sarr.
No report on either.
ACCT, Mr. Sarr.
No report. It's that time of year when we stay where we're at here.
The next meeting dates and times, June 14th, 5:30 p.m., the charter schools special meeting. That's a budget approval. June 14th, 4:30 p.m., agenda review, governing boardroom. June 28th, 5:30, budget and finance. And June 28th, 6:30, the regular board meeting, and the charter schools public hearing that's required by law. If there's no further business before the board, I declare this meeting adjourned.